All right, all right, all right. God dang, y'all. Okay, 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 okay. There we go. Now we live. Hey, now we live. Now we live on everything, man. Let's get to work. 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 What's going on, y'all? Appreciate everybody coming in, man. Thank y'all so much for coming in, yo. Welcome, 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 welcome again, man. Welcome to the brand new setup. It's a family meeting. What's going on, everybody over on IG? Appreciate y'all coming in, man. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. Yo, we're gonna vibe out real quick so a little bit of family meeting so y'all can listen and know what this thing is about. What's the purpose of this meeting tonight, man? Let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. Hey, welcome to a family meeting where we have conversations in familyhood and in life in order to help you excel to the next level. We want to make sure that you grow to the next level. Around the table where the stories get told. Okay. Grandma's wisdom worth more than gold. If you ain't know, that's me. Pass the plates like we pass the plans. Legacy's a recipe cooked by hand. Okay. No silver spoon, just the grind we know. Seeds in the soil, watch the future grow. What we doing right now, y'all? Family meeting, this is where it starts. Blueprints laid out straight from the heart. Breaking cycles, building dreams. Generational wealth ain't just a scheme. Uncle with the notebook jotting down goals. Auntie with the vision got the soul that glows. Kids in the corner learning the game. Passing down knowledge ain't a thing of shame. We pray over blessings then strategize moves. Every brick we lay is a win we prove. We rise together like the bread we breathe. Curses ain't a thing we face. Jesse, what up, Jesse? Appreciate you coming in, fam. What's up, Lily? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? The blueprints laid out. Building dreams. Generational wealth ain't just a scheme. Yes, 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 yes. What's up, family? Welcome in, man, to another family meeting. I'm sorry, family meeting started late tonight, but we had some technical difficulties. But you know, it's never something that we can't that we can't get past, man. So today, I want to jump right into it because we are going to cut it a little bit short tonight. Not a little bit short, but because we started late, man, we got to make sure that we are getting into the nitty gritty of what we're talking about tonight. So tonight, we're talking about getting fly, and I'm not talking about just your clothes, but I'm talking about in life in general. Just like catching a flight at the airport, leveling up starts with preparation, checking in, passing through security, and choosing the right fuel. Let's board this plane together. First thing that we got to do in order to get fly. The first thing that we got to do in order to get fly is the first thing that we have to do in life in general as a whole. The first thing that we got to do in life in general as a whole is we have to learn how to pick our destination. It's difficult to go anywhere in life if we don't have a destination. I mean, think about it this way. I use this example all the time. I say, listen, pick up a pen, pick up an item, doesn't matter. It's my phone or it's my pen. If I take this and I decided to throw it at something, how would I know what I'm throwing it at if I don't actually have a target? In life, what I want us to do is I want us to pick a target that we can hit. When we have a target, we are clear about what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And many people, they pick a target, but their target doesn't have any specifics to it. What does that mean, Jeff? That means I need you to be focused, not just about what's going on. Mika, appreciate you tapping in. What's going on, Natanya? Appreciate you tapping in. That target is going to look like something that is specific and well defined. I've heard those words my whole entire life, growing up and more so getting into this motivational speaker phase of being specific and well defined defined. It is imperative that anything that we do, that we are specific and well defined. So in that, here's a story that I want you guys to take with you. And I told this story the last time I had a speech, but I thought it was so profound. I thought it was important for me to also bring this story here. And it's a story of three bricklayers. Three bricklayers are asked the same question and they give three different responses. The first bricklayer says, I'm laying bricks. He's not really caught up in what he's doing. He's just caught up in the activity of I'm just laying bricks. The second bricklayer is asked the same question. What is it that you're doing? He says, I'm building a wall. Now he's a little bit more intentional than the first guy, but he is caught up in the goal of what he's doing and not necessarily what he should be focused on. They asked the third bricklayer the same exact question. What is it that you're building? He says, I'm building a cathedral. Now, if we take three men that are doing the same exact task and give each of them a different purpose and a different calling, which builder do you think is going to build the best or lay the best bricks? Most likely it's going to be the one that's building a cathedral. You know why? Because he's paying attention to his essence. He's paying attention to everything that he do. He's paying attention to detail. The first bricklayer, doesn't matter how these bricks are laid. I'm just laying these bricks. It doesn't matter to me. The second bricklayer, he's building a wall. And so, yes, he's focused on the goal at hand, but the third bricklayer, he's focused on the dream. He's focused on the outcome. He's focused on what this thing could be and what it's going to be used for. Here's what I'm saying to you. I want you to have a goal, just like when you go to the airport. You know exactly where it is you're going. You're not going to the airport and saying, I'm flying to Jamaica. No, you're going to the airport and you're saying, I'm going to Montego Bay. I know exactly what airport I'm going to land in. And that's the level of focus that we have to carry with us when we're talking about setting up anything in our lives. Before I was sure about what it was that I wanted to do, I had goals. I wanted to be successful. But what does success look like? Success is objective, because success to me and to you doesn't look the same. Success to me and everyone else in this world doesn't look the same. To some people, it's a variation of the same, but success is objective and it's not subjective. It's not something that can be defined for everyone. Some people want a big mansion. Some people want a farm. Some people want a condo. Some people want a family. Some people don't want kids. Some people want a dog. Some people want a cat. Some people, like myself, want a serval cat. I'm still trying to convince my wife on that, man. If y'all can help me convince my wife on that, I need y'all to help me convince my wife on that. All right. Help me convince my wife that we need a serval cat in the house. She don't like cats, but this is like a medium-sized cat. So I think there's a difference in cats that we're talking about. But listen, I want us to get to the point where we write down what it is that we want. And here's what I want you to do. I just want you to start off small. If you can just write down what you want for the next 6 months, if you can write down what you want for the next 6 months, what would those things be? If you can write down for the next 6 months, what would those things be? And if you can be well defined in what those things are, what would those things be that you would say, you know what, this is something that I want for the next 6 months? And that's going to be the first, that's the first step into planning out what your life looks like, into planning how to get fly. Okay. The next thing that I want you to think about in terms of getting fly is I want you to think about I want you to think about, oh my goodness, y'all, come on, disconnect from that. I don't know what we doing right there. I want you to think about this. Okay. I want you to think about when you go to the airport, what's the first thing that you do when you go to the airport? What's the first thing that you do when you go to the airport? When you go to the airport, you've packed your bags, you know exactly what you're going to wear. You know where you're going. The first thing that you have to do when you get to the airport is, well, you got to check in. And this is something that a lot of us don't take time to do. We don't take time to check in on our mental. We don't take time to check in with ourselves to make sure that we are okay and in a good state of mind in order to get to where we're trying to get to. It's going to be increasingly difficult trying to get somewhere if you're not in a healthy state of mind that's going to allow you to get there. Meek, appreciate you over on TikTok sending the gifts. I thank you so much for that. I certainly do get that out of it. Let me see if I can move that out of the picture, man. Goodness gracious. This camera over here capturing everything, ain't it? Bam, there we go. But man, listen, I need us to check in with ourselves. Yo, you got to do a self check in with yourself. Are you aligned mentally? Are you aligned emotionally? Are you in line spiritually? There's something right now that we have to get, and it's called a real ID. And I think getting a real ID is synchronous with making sure that we are our real selves. It's you can't get to your ultimate destination if you're trying to be someone else. We look at social media, and one of the things that works well on social media along with storytelling is authenticity. Are you being your authentic self? When I'm doing this, I'm being my authentic self. I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm enjoying being myself. I'm enjoying talking. I'm enjoying doing what it is that I do. I love, getting on here and talking and just having conversations and connecting with people, because this is where I feel my wheelhouse is. And the more I can get in alignment with my wheelhouse, the more I believe that people will take me serious. Last week we shouted out Alex Hermosi, and as I listened to different podcasts and different insights on what he did, accomplishing $105 million in 24 hours by selling a book, it really brought into light the idea of building trust. And the best way to build trust within any community is to be your authentic self. Let me ask you, are you being your authentic self? After you check in and after you set your goals, do these goals align with who it is that I desire to be? Are they creating the person that I desire to be? I think some people may think it's strange when they hear me say I'm not the person, like the person that I am today. I created this person. This person wasn't born. This person was built. This person was constructed. And through everything that I've been through, I was able to construct the person that you all see before you today. It took years of work. It took years of dedication. It took years of learning and focus and intentionality with being this person. It took me a long time to get to the point where I felt comfortable enough saying to myself, yo, this is the person that I want to be. Ask yourself, are you in alignment with the person that you desire to be? And do your decisions align with the person that you desire to be? As you're doing this mental check-in, I need you to make sure that you're answering all of those questions. Are all of these things aligned with the person that I want to be? When I said to myself, I want to become a speaker, what I would do is I would listen to other speakers. I would listen to E.T. and Les Brown and Gary Vee and Tony Robbins. And what I found was that I would also emulate these men when I would give speeches. And so listening to them made me become them. And so in order to stay true to my authentic self, now when I go to speeches, when I'm on my way to a speech, I listen to myself, because I want to be a better version of myself. In the beginning, I hated listening to my voice. I was like, why would anybody want to listen to my voice? Who would want to listen to this voice speak? And the answer was everybody. Everybody will want to listen to this voice speak. Everybody will want to listen to me talk. Everybody loves the voice that I have. And you know what's funny? I always thought my younger brother, you're like, he's got a voice that people would listen to. And the crazy thing is that majority of people who hear me and my brother talk, they say, yo, y'all sound just alike. So I was caught up in the idea that I wasn't successful because of the voice I had. I was caught up in the idea that I wasn't successful, that success was eluding me because I didn't have a famous name. Jeffrey Young. What kind of famous name is Jeffrey Young? Jeffrey Young for three doesn't have the same ring to it as Steph Curry or Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Listen, I almost lost it when I found out that Michael Jordan's middle name was Jeffrey. I was like, yes, there is hope for me doing something else. I was like, yo, there is hope for me doing something else and being great and doing something famous and being someone who is famous. Y'all, I need you to check in with yourself as you're moving through life, as you're moving through this airport. the next phase and moving through this and the next phase and moving through this process is going to be going through TSA. When you go through TSA, what does TSA require? Well, TSA requires you to take off your hat. It requires you to take off, your belt, take off your shoes, take off anything, your hoodie. Ladies, you got to put your hair up. For me, I don't got to do that. I don't got no hair, but I do have to take off my hat. It forces you to remove all of these articles of clothing so that you can pass on to the other side. And much like life, yes, TSA slows you down, but it's necessary for safety. And if you think about this in a sense of life, what does this do? This teaches you that life has obstacles, that life has challenges, that there are setbacks that filter out what doesn't belong on your journey. When you're going through TSA is going to tell you there's certain things that you can't take on this journey with you. This is why this step directly follows the step of checking in, because as you're checking in, I want you to think about this. When you check in at the airport, your bags have to weigh a certain amount, about 40 pounds. And when your bag weighs anything over 40 pounds, what do you have to do? You usually have to pay more. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to carry all of this extra baggage with us as we're going through life that forces us to pay more. And how do we pay? We pay with our mental health. We pay with our physical health, with our spiritual health, with our financial health. If you're not in a good space in every area of your life, spiritual, physical, emotional, relational, mental, financial, and professional, if you're not in a good space in every area of your life, you're carrying way too much baggage, and your baggage weighs over 40 pounds. And when your bag weighs over 40 pounds, you gotta pay extra. So we all come with a little bit of baggage. We all have some things that we carry through our lives. We all have bad habits. We all have guilty pleasures. All of these things are part of our lives, and they are what make us unique. They are what make us unique. But when we're carrying these things, it's important not to carry too much. And what I find is that just like in my life, most of us do the same thing. We're not just carrying our baggage. We're carrying the baggage of everybody else. We're carrying the baggage of everybody else. How many of us are the people that our friends and our family come to when they're in hardships, when they're facing trials and tribulations? They come to us, and what they do is they put all of their stuff in our bag as we're headed to our destination, and we're paying extra for their baggage while they're just flying on they're just flying regular. They're just enjoying themselves, going through life regular. They're just going through life regular. They are, and they don't have the additional baggage. What I need us to do is I need us to be like those people at TSA. Y'all seen those people y'all seen those people at baggage claim where they just start taking stuff out of their bag and they saying, yo, I ain't gonna fly with this. I can buy one of these there and I ain't gonna fly with this. That's what we gotta do. We gotta start getting some of this negativity out of our lives. And that negativity oftentimes doesn't look like, physical things. Sometimes it's people. Sometimes we gotta get negative people out of our lives. And some of y'all be saging y'all house trying to get the negative energy out, only to learn that the negative energy is still there. And the only time the negative energy leaves is when you leave the house. And the reason for that is because you were the negative energy in the first place. You're negative, you toxic, you pessimistic. You're arrogant. You're not a person who has done the mental work to check in with themselves so that this can be a much smoother flight for you. As you're going through TSA, y'all, I need you to realize that all of the challenges that life has presented before you are necessary for you to get to the other side. I need you to reframe obstacles as security measures that strengthen you. You got to reframe these things as security measures that strengthen you. Everything that I've ever been through in my whole entire life, people always ask, Jeff, would you do if you had to go back, what's one of the things that you would change? And the cliche answer is, well, I would change nothing. And before, I always thought that was a cliche response, but now I understand why people say, if I was doing everything that I did, I wouldn't change anything, because my story, everything that's happened to me has made me who I am. It's a part of my story. It's a part of my origin story. Just like Spider-Man has the bite and Superman has the meteor shower that happened. Everything that we've been through is a part of our origin story. And if we take any of those things away, we don't become the person that we are supposed to become, or it takes a longer route in order to get to the person that you're supposed to become. Because there's more than one way to get to the sum of four. There's more than one way to get to the sum of four. There are many, many different combinations that you can use in order to get to the sum of four, y'all. So don't think that what you're doing in life and don't think that what you're going through in life isn't necessary. As you move through TSA, one of the things that you have to make sure that you pay attention to at the airport is if you don't know where your gate is. Sometimes you book that flight. Sometimes you're on that destination, but you don't know where that gate is. And this is where you have to use an information board. You guys can see right here. This is my board right here. But if you think about it at the airport, there's an information board that lets you know where your gate is. And you got to check in on your boarding pass. And once you get through TSA, once you check in, they're going to tell you where your gate is flying out of, y'all. What this means to me is this means you're going to need some sort of information in order to find your destination and get you where you're trying to get you. Jesse, man, I appreciate you, bro. Big 10, what's good, bro? Appreciate you over on TikTok, my dog. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming in, big dog.
I love you this much. I love you this
Appreciate you
much.
coming in. Yo, what's good, Ethan? Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, make sure y'all run them gifts up, man. We got to get to 2,000. We at 84 right now. Let's go ahead and get us back up to that 2,000, man, just like we did before. So listen, check that information board. Here's what I'm saying to you. It doesn't matter where you're trying to go. You're going to need some information in order to get there. Here's what I'm trying to say to you. In order to get you where you're trying to get to, you are going to need information, and it's going to require you to learn something. In today's society, it is dang near impossible to become successful if you don't have some sort of skill or you don't have some sort of talent that you are that you are honing and that you are making better. It's going to be difficult for you to be successful if you're not trying to be the greatest. It's going to be difficult because, I mean, if you think about it, listen, writing copy used to be a job. We don't need people to write copy anymore. We just use AI. Speech writing used to be a job. Do we really need speech writing now? I mean, granted, we still need speech writing, yes, but how much of that can be taken away with AI? So in the past, whereas you would have maybe 10 people doing this job, now you only need about 2 people doing the job because they're just writing prompts into AI and using trending and relevant topics. I need you to find a skill. I need you to find a skill that's going to help you get to your destination quicker. Many people wander around the airport of life, wandering aimlessly because they have no idea what information is necessary in order to get them to their goal. How do you learn what information is necessary? You got to have yourself mentors. You got to pick 5 mentors, and mentors don't have to be somebody that you can talk to on a regular basis. Mentors is just going to be somebody that's going to teach you and that's going to give you game. And like it's the reason why every single last one of y'all are on here right now. I'm your mentor. You may not have my phone number. You may not have my email. You may not be able to get in contact with me directly, but this is a part of mentorship. And there's 2 ways to get on the fast track into success. You can either pay with time or you can either pay with money. And if you don't have money, one of the things that you can pay with is you can pay with time. I haven't spent much money learning how to be a speaker, but I have spent an enormous amount of time figuring out how to be a speaker, figuring out how to get paid as a speaker, figuring out how to craft speeches and put speeches together. This is one of my most successful speeches that I've ever had, is this airport speech. And so I use it time and time again because it's always relevant. And what I do is I put in different stories because these stories, they all teach us the same exact things. I mean, if you think about it, if you break anything down into a skeleton form, a lot of things are the same across multiple aspects of our lives. I'll give you an example of what I mean. In professional life and in personal life, you're going to need the same exact skills. You need communication skills. You need emotional awareness. You need effective communication. You need self-awareness, self-management, social skills, responsible decision-making, critical thinking, relationship skills. What's going on? Appreciate y'all over on IG. Thank y'all so much for coming in, man. Appreciate y'all, yo. Let's get it. But it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. All of these skills are transferable. All of these skills are transferable, yo. So when you're thinking about when you're thinking about the skills that you need to develop, all of these skills are transferable in your personal life and in your professional life. So here's what you can do. If you want to develop in those skills, really take inventory of where you are on a scale of 1 to 10 in those skills. Number 10 says I am the absolute best at this thing. Number 1 is says that I'm the absolute worst at this thing. Take honest inventory and ask someone else who's going to give you honest feedback. Say, listen, I need you to give me honest feedback. What's going on, Vinny? Appreciate you coming in over on TikTok. I need you to give me honest feedback of of how good I am at effective communication, at emotional awareness, at critical thinking, at problem solving. And when you do the inventory of how good you are at these things, you'll begin to see where where you have areas of development and areas for improvement. As you go through those areas of development and those areas of improvement, you'll start to see that you're climbing more and more and more to that 10 spot, and that 10 is ultimately where you get your goal at. Thank y'all so much for sending the gifts. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. We in here. Run it up, run it up.
I love you this much.
Okay, so look. We going through this airport, and we've got the information that we need. We got the information that we need. We got our mentors. We're starting to listen to people. And let me tell you something. There is already somebody doing successfully what it is that you desire to do. Think about how you can learn from those people. Think about the information that you can take from those people. I literally have learned everything from listening to podcasts, from reading books, from studying. I took everything that I learned. I put it into my own business, and that's how I became successful as a speaker. That's what made me start developing curriculums. That's what made me start getting to the point where I am now moving into full-time entrepreneurship. That's what made me say to myself, yo, I got to go back to school. What's going on, Mason? Appreciate you coming in, fam. Make sure you tap that screen. Make sure you send them gifts. I appreciate y'all over on TikTok. But that's the reason why I am where I am today, because I took everything that I learned from the people who are doing what I want to do successfully. I took everything that they could possibly teach me and I put it into my own. And now I created my own self as different variations of all of the mentors that I have in my life. That's how you got to do it. The next thing that I want you to focus on is after you get to your gate, what you're going to realize is that you're at a gate and there's going to be a particular type of airline that is going to fly you out. And I need you to raise your standards of what you feel you deserve. Now, there's multiple different types of airlines, but 2 airlines that I'll go with here as an example is the old Spirit Airlines. I don't know I don't know the new experience of Spirit Airlines, but if you think of like a JetBlue, not a Jet2 holiday, all right, I'm talking about JetBlue airline versus a Delta or United Airlines or an American Airlines. There's a difference in the experience. There's not only a difference in the experience, there's a difference in the first class experience of when you're flying. A mentor of mine, he encouraged me that the next time I fly out, I should fly out first class wherever it is that I'm going so that I can get a different experience. And it makes you start to raise your standard of what you feel like you want. Not to say that this is something that you might be able to afford every single day, but there's a new desire that you have for yourself that nothing less than my absolute best will do. Nothing less than first class in my marriage will do. Nothing less than first class as a father will do. Nothing less than first class as a mentor will do. Nothing less than first class as a son, as a brother, as a friend, as a cousin, as a mentor will do. And when you get to the point where you accept nothing less than first class, that's when your life starts to change. And here's what I want to encourage y'all is that there's nothing wrong with flying in coach right now, because maybe you're not where you desire to be. And that's 100% okay. It only becomes a problem when you're in coach and you don't desire first class, you don't desire business class, you don't desire something more for yourself. I see way too many young people who don't have a desire. Their only desire is just getting through today. And what our goal is as the adults, as the mentors, as the teachers, is to get them to see 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Right now is where you live. Right now is where you live. In the future is where you're going to live. And your future is going to be a result of the decisions that you make today. Your future is going to be a result of the decisions that you make today. And you can't complain about where you didn't get to based off of the work that you did not put in today. You can't be mad. Man, let me tell y'all something. Yo, I used to be mad as I don't know what when I used to call off. Like when I found out that I can call off for work and not get suspended and not get in trouble for it, yo, I would call off. And this is when I didn't have paid leave and I didn't have paid time off. I would just call off just because. I would just call off just because. And what happened is when you see that 8 hours not on your check, when I was getting paid $13 an hour, boy, when them 8 hours was out of my check, man, it felt like somebody took a shotgun to my check. Man, it felt like somebody took a shotgun to my check and literally just took everything away from me, yo. And that's exactly what it feels like to take days off, man. That's exactly what it feels like to not live up to your standards. When I was in high school, when I finished my undergraduate degree, I wasn't living up to my standards. I was a 2.2 grade point average student. When I went and got my master's degree, I finished with a 3.7. What's the difference between who I was in my high school and undergraduate career and my master's degree? In my graduate school career, the difference was knowledge and information. And I had a standard for myself that I said nothing less than my absolute best will do. If nothing less than your absolute best will do, I just want you to type a 1 in the chat for me. Just type a 1 in the chat for me. If nothing less than your absolute best will do from here on out, you saying to yourself, yo, I'm giving everything that I've got. There's no purpose in you doing it if you're not giving everything that you got. What's the purpose of doing it if you're not giving everything that you got? What's the purpose of waking up every single day if you're not giving everything that you got? You got to give everything that you got, man. Everything that you got is required and it's necessary, y'all. It's required and it's necessary. The last thing that I want you to remember as we wrap up. And then here's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to type any questions in the chat right now. Type, what's up, Gianna? I want you to type any questions that you might have right now in the chat for me. Do me a huge favor. Type any questions that you have in the chat. What I want to do is I want to open it up for a Q&A, because in these family meetings, it's not just a meeting of just one person talking, but it's a meeting of all of us coming together and having conversations and talking about different things and getting guidance, because in families, it's important to make sure that we're getting those guidance. A shout out to Ethan with the galaxy. Let's go.
I love you this much.
Come on, Ethan. Let's go.
Ooh, he's in his bag.
Yes, Ethan is in his bag for sure. But the last thing that I want you to realize, man, is you got to find something that fuels you. In an airplane, you can't put car fuel. You can't go to a regular gas station and put car fuel in the airplane. It just doesn't work that way. You got to fuel that thing with jet fuel. What fuels you? What gets you going? What's going to be that thing that's going to make you soar? What's your why? What's the reason why you're doing all of this? All of this stuff doesn't matter if you're not fueling yourself with the right things, if you're not fueling yourself with the right passion, if you're not fueling yourself with the right motivation and the right insight and the right encouragement and the right mindset. What's going on, Landon? Appreciate you coming in. What's the thing that fuels you that's going to get you to the point where you say, okay, this is where I want to go, and this is how I'm going to get there? You got to figure out what fuels you. Y'all, I figured out what fuels me, man. I figured out my why. I learned that I wanted to buy my mom a house, and that I wanted to buy my dad a house, and I wanted my children not to have the same struggles that I did. I want my grandmother to be proud of me. I want my grandmother to be able to walk on a stage and see her grandson speaking. And I have that opportunity November the 22nd. I'm going to invite my grandmother. I'm going to pull my grandmother in a all black. I'm taking my grandmother and lift black XL, and my grandmother gonna see me speak. Hopefully they allow her to come in so that she can see me speak, but it will be a dream come true for my grandmother to see me speak, man. To see me speak live, it will be a dream come true for my grandmother to see me speak live, yo. Find out what fuels you. What are you excited about? What's up, Mason? What are you excited about? What gets you up? What gets you going? And then remind yourself of that. Your goals, like we talked about in the beginning, should be the thing that gets you going. What's up, Rika? You're like that right there gets me going. Gets me going. So as we close out, y'all, getting fly it's not about what you wear. It's not about your hair. It's not about your accessories. It's about preparing. It's about checking yourself. It's about pushing through obstacles, gathering information, raising your standards, and fueling yourself with the right energy. If you do that, you will never just take off. You will soar. And in life, we are meant to soar. Every single last one of us are meant to live life in abundance. It's something that was given to us. Abundance was given to us as a birthright. And again, remember, abundance doesn't look the same for everybody. You can't do it on Instagram. Hey, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yes, thank y'all so much over on Instagram, man. I see y'all in the comments. Instagram. Don't worry. I got you, IG. I see you in the comments. But listen, yo, tomorrow, when you getting dressed, I want you to think about getting fly. I want you to think about the purpose. Every single day, remind yourself of that purpose. Put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. Every day I approach this board over here. Let me move. I don't know why my camera clicked out, but every single day I remind myself. And how do I remind myself? Come on, man. Give me my scene. Oh my gosh. Now they want to mess up my scene. It's all good. I'm not gonna worry with it. But this board over here, y'all, I approach this board every single day because this board is what reminds me. It's what reminds me of what it is that I'm supposed to do so that I can live every single day with intention. Y'all got any questions in the comments before I let y'all go, man? Before I let y'all go, y'all got any questions in the comments? Listen, we're gonna take it out. We're going to take it out. If y'all ain't got no questions, man, we going to do is we just going to take it out, yo. Again, we mentoring our family over here. God and my daughter. What's good, Brody? What's good, Rika?
Gather around the table where the stories get told. Grandma's wisdom worth more than gold. We pass the plates like we pass the plans. Legacy's a recipe cooked by hand. No silver spoon, just the grind we know. Seeds in the soil, watch the future grow. Yeah, family meeting, this is where it starts. Blueprints laid out straight from the heart. Breaking cycles, building dreams. Generational wealth ain't just a scheme. Uncle with the notebook jotting down goals. Auntie with the vision got the soul that glows. Kids in the corner learning the game. Passing down knowledge ain't a thing of shame. We pray over blessings then strategize moves. Every brick we lay is a win we prove. We rise together like the bread we bake. Breaking curses ain't a thing we fake.
Hey, Rika, we here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m., yo. We locked in. Good night, y'all. Break cycles. Building dreams. Generational wealth. It ain't no scheme, man. That's what we do right here. That's what we do right here, man. I appreciate all of y'all, yo. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are absolutely dope. I appreciate y'all joining me on this journey. Appreciate y'all joining me on this journey, man. Until next time, I'ma holla at y'all. Get me out of here. Bro, hey, listen. Here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy.